Hi guys, welcome along to another edition of the project series here in Leamington Spa. Here he is, the man of the hour. How you doing, mate?
Okay.
So he's cracked on with the stud work, as you can see, lovely job. All the stud work's done pretty much. All the stud work has also been insulated with the 100mm insulation, the rock wall sound insulation, just to make sure the walls don't sound hollow and stop any noise transfer. Tomorrow they will be getting on with the dabbing. So what we're using in here is 25mm insulation on the back of a 12.5mm board. This is PIR plasterboard, which basically has a paper on the back of it here. Yeah, as you can see, we've blue gritted this, same as we do on the walls. The reason for that being is that the paper that's on the back of here, although you can dab it, it can actually delaminate from the adhesive. So we like to do this just to give it a bit of an extra key, just to make sure that it doesn't delaminate. Obviously if it does, then what's going to happen is you're going to end up with cracks all the way down the walls, and obviously moving it in the board, which we don't want. So these boards here will actually be used on this wall out here. Because it's an external wall and it's only 9 inch, there's not actually a cavity in there. So the way we can get over that, just to make sure there's no thermal loss, is by using these insulated boards. The party wall here, obviously because that's an internal wall, and the wall through there will be dabbed with standard moisture resistant boards, these green ones. We have also installed this here, which is our ducting for the fan downstairs, for the extractor fan. So the extractor will extract straight up, across through the ceiling, up this wall and straight outside there. Reason being is that we don't want carbon filters, although they are very good and very effective. There's obviously additional cost along the way of maintenance, so this way you can just extract straight out of the building, no problems at all. I think that's about it for now. So what we'll do is we will set up some more videos for tomorrow just to capture some more of the action, and you can keep informed of what's going on. Hi Pete.
Hi John.
Hi Pete. Thought I'd just show you a little detail of the job that we're doing here. Outside, I don't know if you remember from the previous project series, but there was an old fence here with a load of ivy growing up it. And what the clients have decided to do is knock down the fence and build this beautiful wall. So as you can see, Alex has started on this wall here. What he's currently doing is cutting a load of bricks, some halves and stuff to get in there, just to keep the bond tidy. As you can see, he's just marking up, these are the closers. As you've seen on the brickwork before, the bond of the brickwork is actually header, stretcher, 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 and then the end detail is a closer. So we've replicated that over here as well, in that corner and that corner over there. So Alex has just cut a load of bricks and he's just going to cut the closers now. As you saw there, Alex was using the water feed on that so we can actually wet cut the bricks. We try and do that wherever possible because it stops the dust, because obviously cutting bricks like that, there's a massive amount of dust that comes off. So when we can, we use the water feed on it so it wet cuts them, like I say, it keeps the dust down and stops it spreading everywhere. So now Alex has got all his bricks cut, he'll be able to crack on with this wall. He's all loaded out over there. I'll set a tie nuts up so you can watch what he's doing. So as you've seen, Alex has been building this brick wall. Hi Alex. And he's been using our new tool to cut the bricks. So we've got one of these new Hilti petrol saws. It's the DSH 600X. We've got it with the optional water feed, which you can see on there, which is a pump. So unlike traditional petrol saws, which normally have a hose feed, which fits directly on, and then you either turn it on or turn it off, this one actually uses this pump, which is basically a centrifugal pump. So when the disc starts spinning, it actually pulls water through, so it only feeds water when you need it, unlike the conventional ones which have a constant feed to it. So Alex has just cut 20 bricks in half. To make those 20 cuts, we have used a 25 litre container of water. It wasn't fully used, so we've worked out roughly it's about a litre per cut. So if that was a standard petrol saw with a constant feed, it would have used a lot more than that. As you can see, there's a bit of mess, but obviously that's the nature of the beast. If we'd used a constant feed, there would have been a lot more of that. It would have been everywhere, and also if we had no feed at all, there would have been a massive amount of dust. So this is definitely a bit of kit that we're going to use again in the future. Awesome bit of kit. Cheers, Hilti. It's Monday morning and the plastering in this room is finished. Everything is all done nicely. We've got some nice straight lines everywhere now, just the way we like it. There's a little bit of drying still to be done in that corner. The plasterer's about to bond this area of ceiling out quite substantially, just to make sure our lines are nice and straight. Obviously when the tiles come up, you want to make sure that all your lines are nice and crisp, and also the coving as that comes round as well, you don't want to see any waves along the top of it. So all the plastering is done in here, so the next order of business is to get our second fixing. So architraves around the windows, window boards on, linings fitted. Wow, in this case these are actually going to be door casements, so that means that there will be the door is fully cased in. I'll come and give you an example up here. So as you can see with this door here, when the door shuts, the whole lining is cased in, yeah, hence the way the casement. So the only margin you have here is the thickness of the door, and then it all moulds into one when the door is shut. So we'll be mirroring this effect down here, because when we do stuff like this, we like to make sure that we match up with the existing work. Yeah, we don't want anything to look different, we don't want it to look odd as if it is a bolt onto the house. We want it all to run through nicely. So we've got to get these all made up. We'll show you what we do, the process of that in a minute. So we've got some work being done on this window later on this week, so we're going to get the architrave sorted around that and everything first, because all he's got to do is take these out and then change some weights and stuff like that in there. The Coving guy's coming this week as well, so we need to make sure again that the architrave's up ready for him so he can bring his Coving up to the architrave. Same in here. Coving will go around here as well, so we need to make sure our architrave's on. Also a window board to go on here, and a window board in there. As you can see, we've got a groove in this window here, yeah, which is how it should be. So then when you put your sill board in, the tongue of the sill board actually sits in there. You glue that in then and then tack it through, and then that makes sure there's never any movement in the window board. Whereas in here, we don't actually have that groove. Yeah, there's actually nothing in there like you can see. So what we're gonna have to do is actually make a groove ourselves in there so the window board can sit in. Some people don't actually do that, they literally just fit the window board to the window, but what can happen is over time, obviously you've got two different sections of wood, if one of them gets a bit moist or anything like that with temperatures, it can cause a crack along the back here. So it can warp, crack, anything like that. So if we put that tongue and groove section in, like we said, and glue it and tack it in, then we know then there's never going to be any movement there. You just simply cork across it and you've got a perfect joint. So what I'll do is I'll set up a few time lapses, do a few videos throughout the day, just so you can see what's going on, and we'll keep you posted. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a lot of footage of the Cova in action, but you can now see the finished result. Here we are. This is plaster of Paris, traditional round moulding. It's a Victorian style coving. It looks really, really nice. This is matched up to the coving that's in the rest of the house as well. So it gives a great feel to it all. Make sure that it's all in keeping, like I mentioned before. Got some nice details in here as well. He's stood it slightly off the wall because these walls have been tiled, so when the tiles run up you do not want to lose the bottom arris of the coving. So looks really, really effective. This is really nice stuff. He's got to come back tomorrow and do this small area out here and in the toilet as well. So once that's all done, it will look amazing. So tomorrow we can get in here, start getting our trays fitted, because they're back from the joiners now, and start swinging some doors. Hi guys, so today the tiler is here. Hi Greg.
Hi John.
Hi. Greg's an awesome tiler and he's coming to do a wonderful job here today. Don't forget, follow him on Instagram, see all his amazing work at @GN_tiling. You'll like that, yes. Greg's going to start in here in the shower area, getting these lovely mosaics down. They're pretty similar to the floor tiles. So what he's going to do is get these mapped out. Well, as you can see, he's already laid them out here. They're going to work really well in the shower area. Basically, they'll work from here, full tile all the way up. They'll go nicely around this drain as well, so there'll be minimal cuts in there, which is going to look really effective. Then the floor tiles, which will carry through. We'll get all the floor done today, hopefully. And then tomorrow, he'll crack on with the walls. Not putting you under any pressure, Greg. So yeah, we've got the plumber come in. He's going to just disconnect this tap so we can get a nice finish around that rather than trying to cut around it. We can drill a hole perfectly just to go straight over this shroud, and then that's it. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll set up a time lapse as usual so you can watch Greg in action. Hi guys, so today is a big day. We've got a lot going on. We have got the windows being fitted today. We're just waiting for the guys to come down from Manchester, I believe it is, the Apropos people. Hi to you, Apropos, and they're going to get everything fitted. We're currently just taking this temporary roof off now. Oh, Sam is. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
So yeah, once this is all off, there's a few extra bits that we need to do up here just in preparation for them, but they couldn't be done until this roof was stripped off. We need to actually put some small sections of fascia on there, ply fascia, which will then take the gutter in across there. And also on top of these rafters, there's some ply on there as well. We just need to fix them down just because we couldn't get to them because of where the battens are. So that's all ready for them then to go. What I'll do, I'll go show you upstairs as well. Up here we've got the plumbers in. Hi Dave.
You alright?
Doing the second fix. As you might notice, the floor is now black. That's because we've covered it in Antonox just to make sure these fresh tiles and fresh grout are fully protected. Because it's white grout as well, it's very important that we keep this covered because any bit of dirt that gets in there will potentially mark it. And we don't want that, we want the client to have a nice fresh bathroom. Dave's going to get this cloakroom fitted out first. They've got a functioning toilet upstairs because they're currently using one in the basement. So we've got a basin vanity unit to go on here, toilet on the wall there, and that's about it in here. Obviously fit the door as well. Bath's got to go here, vanity unit, which we've got to do a little bit of modification to. I'll show you a bit of that later. And then what we did have was a bit of an issue with the tiles. Unfortunately, we didn't get enough, which was a bit of an issue from the supplier. Nothing to do with us, but it's, you know, unfortunately that's what happens sometimes. So we're still waiting on the tiles for there and for this area here, and unfortunately a bit for there as well. So that's going to hold up the towel rail on there, and obviously the toilet on there. But they're coming this week, so hopefully we'll get the tiler back straight away and get them to do that. Cupboard's got to go in there as well. But as you can see, we're making very good progress. So what we're going to do with this is the vanity unit, by the way, which will sit on this wall here. Because there's not actually much fixings, if you look at this, what you can see is this back panel here is about halfway up this back of the unit. So if we fix through this panel or through this rail here, what's going to happen is it's actually going to want to kick off the wall once you've got the weight on top of it. So what we're going to do is put an additional rail across the back here, so it gives us plenty of fixing space. We are going against a very solid background there because we've got tile, plasterboard and ply, so it's not actually going to push into the wall as such, but what we don't want to do is for it to pull off the wall if we literally just fix through here. So like I say, I'm going to route this area out here and then put an additional rail in, which is just up there at the minute. Put that in here, and then we've got the same paint, matching paint with this, so we can paint that in so it all looks like it's part of it. That will give us additional fixings then and make sure there's never going to be any flex in this at all, and it will never pull off the wall. What it will also do as well, the top that's going on this is actually quite thin, so it will provide additional support for that on the top to make sure there's no bounce in that either. Because as you can see, we've got a good solid rail at the front but nothing at the back, so there is a chance that it could over time just flex, or if anything heavy is ever put on it, it could potentially, you know, break it, so we don't want that. So just for belt and braces, just to make sure, we're going to put this additional rail in. So as you can see, I've routed out these two sections here and here, and if you can probably notice, what I've done is I've actually kept back from the line, and obviously we've got the round here because by the nature of a router, the bits are round, so it's cut this round area. I can't get in any closer than that, so what I'm going to do is just tidy these edges up now with my chisel, just to get a nice, sharp, crisp edge there, so when we put our rail in, it will sit nice and flush. What you've seen me using is this little Makita trimmer router. Really good tool for little jobs like this. Rather than getting the big router out, you just use this as a 1/4 inch collet. So you've got nice small pieces for intricate work like this. It's a really good tool for doing hinges and stuff like that, latches as well. Good piece of kit to have in your toolbox. So yeah, I'll get the chisel on the go now and get this finished up. So guys, as you can see, the vanity is in, looking good. Dave's here. Hi Dave.
You're right.
He's just getting the waste sorted for this basin, and that can go in. The toilet is in, so the clients have now got a toilet upstairs that they can use. That's about it for up here. Skirt is cut, as you can see. Just need to get all that stuck in today, and hopefully the bath will go in today as well, which is going to be really good. So the brickies are in. All right, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, sounds about
Good, good. So what they're doing is building this massive garden wall across here. It was a pretty sorry state before, like you'd seen, so we need to get that reinstated. That's going to look amazing once it's done. And also the window fitters are here. How's it going, mate? You all right?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good. These are the guys from Apropos that are coming in to work their magic and get all this framework up and the glazing in. Hopefully it'll take them a couple of days, weather permitting, and then the building's gonna look amazing. I'll set up a time that's like normal, and you can watch these guys at work through the day. Hi guys, so it's Monday morning in Leamington Spa and good progress has been made, as you've probably just seen from the time lapse. This first frame is up and looking good. It's going to make a real nice addition to this house. Lots of glazing there, which equals lots of light into the kitchen. The guys from Apropos are here now, fitting the rest of the frames. We've got this lovely door here, which is going to open all the way up, like I've said before, to allow this all to flow through nicely. We're going to have the same tile outside here as we are inside, so once this door's open, the whole room's just going to flow really, really well. The brickers have been hard at work as well here. So we've got this wall started, and the corner's set out up there. We're also opening a doorway up in here. It was an existing doorway, but now it's going to be lifted right up there, so there's going to be seamless through from the ceiling inside to out here. We've also got some progress in the bathroom, which I'll go and show you now. The bath is up, which was a very heavy bath. I think it was 120 kilos, I think we said this was, so that was fun getting up the stairs. Tiling's all done in here. This tiling's now been finished because, like I mentioned before, we were waiting for some tiles off the supplier. So yeah, it's looking really good. So guys, some good progress has been made in our bathroom yet again. I haven't been filming much in here because, as you've seen, the windows are being fitted downstairs, so all our efforts have been put on that. Here we go. So we've had our toilet installed, our vanity installed, our mirror installed, bath's in here, that was in there before I think. Our towel rail has been put in as well, which is very nice. That's some pretty good progress in there. What we'll do is go downstairs. Oh look, here he is, hi Pete.
Hi John.
We're currently setting up some temporary shuttering in here to keep everything partitioned off because we're opening up this area here to make an archway through into the new kitchen. Hi Jay.
Hi.
Alright, so windows, here they are, looking really, really good. It's so nice to have these in here at last. As you can see, beautiful skylights up there, big windows here, there's a door there that opens up, and there's a big opening door here, which you can see is all open nice. We've got this amazing detail in the corner here as well. And in here, again, amazing. So much natural light's gonna come in here, it's gonna be incredible. Hi guys, so today we are getting this floor ready for screeding. So what that means is we're gonna be putting a layer of damp down, which is a plastic membrane. That will then lap up the wall here. We're then gonna put down 125mm of insulation, which is a rigid type, which we're using Rectisil, I believe. And then we'll put down an additional layer of damp over the top of that, which will also lamp up the wall. There'll also be an upstand 25mm insulation which goes around the side here that stops any thermal transfer travelling through the wall all the way around, just to provide a bit of a thermal break. Then what we're going to do is install our underfloor heating. We'll be using the polypipe system for the underfloor heating with a zone regulation unit as well. We don't need a proper full-size manifold because we've only got one zone in here as it's just one large area. There's going to be 3 separate loops which will run around and they'll all go into one unit which is going to sit in here in the cupboard. But like I say, a manifold, we'd normally use that if we've got loads of zones, if it's travelling around, say, the full footprint of a house. But as it's only this room, we just use something called a zone regulation unit, which copes with just one zone. So what we've done here, this was originally a window, if you remember from some of the previous episodes. What we're doing is knocking this out. Alex is just putting some nice lintels in there, some 6x4 lintels in there, and then this will then form some stairs coming down. So from the lounge area through there, you'll be able to then walk down into here, into the kitchen, while this is going to be the dining area. And there's also going to be a stepway through here. As you can see, what we've done, we've widened this here. This was originally recessed in this what was this old cupboard. So we've brought this out now in block work, and then the kitchen units will fit straight up to that. And we've also raised the ceiling height here, because there was a bulkhead here before, but what we've done is knocked some of this out, put some additional lintels in there and raise it right up. That way then the ceiling in here is actually going to carry through all the way into this. So as you walk down, or look down, sorry, from here, the whole ceiling will carry all the way through and be nice and flush without any unsightly bulkheads anywhere. Wherever we can, we like to hide stuff like that, as we've done with these steels, you know, raise all this up as you saw before. So, as you saw us yesterday, we were putting down the insulation in here. Unfortunately, the battery died, so I couldn't show you us putting down this plastic. So this is the additional layer of damp-proof membrane that I was talking about. So what this will do now is enable us to screed straight over the top of this. What we don't want to do is screed on top of the insulation because it could cause cracking and stuff like that. So this is a nice impermeable layer which will go over the top, which will allow us to screed straight on. So as you can see, we've got some tracks laid out just temporarily at the minute. What we're going to do today is get our underfloor heating pipe work in. We're going to be putting some foam expansion joints all the way around the outside, which will stick to the upstand there. Then we'll get our pipe work in, up to a manifold, which will be temporarily fixed on the wall up here. And then we can fill that with water, make sure there's no leaks. And also by putting that water in, that makes sure the pipe work stays down. So when we actually come to screed over the top of it, it's not going to raise up or anything like that. So it'll be a nice, easy platform for us to work on. So guys, you've seen us getting this underfloor heating down now, ready for screeding, which is the next stage. The system is primed, we've got our zonal regulation unit on the wall here just as a temporary measure. That will be in a cupboard in future, but obviously we need to get this tested and make sure it's alright. So it's just stuck on the wall like that just to make sure everything's working. So yeah, like I say, the next stage is the screed, but you will have to wait until the next episode of the project series before you can see that, because this one is now over. What have you seen in this episode then? You've seen us pushing forward with the bathroom upstairs, you've seen all these beautiful windows going in, you've seen us getting this area down here ready, you've seen doorways being knocked open, the walls being knocked up outside. So yeah, there's been a lot of progress in this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you hit that like button, and while you're there, subscribe and turn on your notifications so you'll be notified every time we release a new video. If you've got any comments or questions about this episode, make sure you leave them in the box and we will get back to you. Like I say, I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care. See you next time.